Have you ever noticed that sometimes, just when everything seems to be going perfectly, a girl suddenly becomes distant? She replies slower, starts acting differently, or even creates a little space between you. Most people immediately think she's losing interest. But psychology suggests something surprising. Sometimes, people pull away not because they care less, but because they care more. Today, we're exploring the fascinating psychology behind why many girls become distant when they begin developing deeper feelings. Remember, these are general psychological patterns, not rules that apply to everyone. Imagine meeting someone who makes you genuinely happy. At first, everything feels exciting. Conversations flow naturally, laughter comes easily, and you look forward to every message. But as the emotional connection grows stronger, something changes inside your mind. Suddenly, the relationship feels more important. And when something becomes important, the fear of losing it also increases. The first psychological reason is emotional vulnerability. Falling in love means giving another person the power to hurt your feelings. For many people, especially those who have experienced heartbreak before, this can feel frightening. Instead of moving closer, they instinctively take a step back to protect themselves. This isn't always a conscious decision. It's often the brain trying to reduce emotional risk before it gets too attached. The second reason is fear of rejection. Even if she likes someone, she may wonder, what if he doesn't feel the same? Instead of risking embarrassment or heartbreak, she may become quieter and wait to see if the other person continues making an effort. This creates emotional distance, not because she wants to end the relationship, but because she's searching for reassurance. Another fascinating psychological concept is called the approach avoidance conflict. This happens when someone wants emotional closeness, but also fears it at the same time. One part of the brain says, go closer. Another part says, be careful. As a result, her behavior may seem confusing. One day she's affectionate. The next day, she seems distant. This emotional push and pull is surprisingly common whenever strong emotions are involved. Past experiences also play a huge role. If someone has been betrayed, ignored, or emotionally hurt before, their brain remembers that pain. Even if the current relationship is healthy, old memories can trigger defensive behavior. Psychology calls this emotional conditioning. The brain tries to avoid repeating painful experiences by becoming more cautious. Some girls also become distant because they're trying to understand their own emotions. Attraction, admiration, attachment, and love are different feelings, and sometimes they develop very quickly. Taking a little space allows them to process what they're actually feeling before making important emotional decisions. Another reason involves independence. Healthy people usually don't want to lose their identity inside a relationship. As emotions become stronger, some girls intentionally spend more time with friends, family, work, or hobbies. This isn't necessarily a sign of losing interest. Instead, it's often an attempt to maintain emotional balance while building a relationship. Psychologists also talk about emotional investment. The more someone invests emotionally, the more valuable the relationship becomes. Naturally, valuable things create anxiety. Imagine carrying an expensive phone for the first time. You're more careful because losing it would hurt. Relationships work in a similar way. Emotional value increases emotional caution. Communication style matters too. Not everyone expresses affection in obvious ways. Some people become more talkative when they like someone. Others become shy, quieter, or more thoughtful. Personality differences, especially introversion, can make emotional attraction appear like emotional distance. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that distance always means rejection. Sometimes the healthiest response isn't chasing harder or disappearing completely. Instead, calm communication, patience, and consistency often create the emotional safety needed for trust to grow naturally. Of course, it's also important to recognize reality. Sometimes distance does mean someone has lost interest. The key difference is consistency. If someone repeatedly avoids communication, ignores your efforts, and shows no interest in maintaining the connection, it's important to respect their space rather than forcing the relationship. Healthy relationships aren't built by decoding every text message or analyzing every small behavior. They're built through honesty, mutual respect, and open communication. Instead of assuming what someone feels, ask respectful questions, listen carefully, and create an environment where both people feel emotionally safe. The biggest lesson from psychology is simple. People don't always act according to what they feel. Fear, past experiences, personality, and emotional protection all influence behavior. That's why understanding human psychology can help reduce misunderstandings and improve relationships. If you enjoyed this stick figure psychology animation, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more fascinating psychology content, and tell us in the comments. Have you ever experienced someone becoming distant just as the relationship was getting stronger? We'd love to hear your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next video.